Senator for Garissa County, Senator Abdul Haji.
Thank you, Chair. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health regarding the state of healthcare services at the Garissa County Referral Hospital. In the statement, the committee should state the number of staff currently employed at the Garissa County Referral Hospital, including the terms and conditions of service, with specific details on the enrollment under the Universal Healthcare Coverage Scheme, stating benefits or considerations for the staff under the UHC. Elucidate on the reasons behind inadequate drug supplies at the hospital, providing the current stocking levels of drugs delivered by the Kenya Medical Service Agency to the hospitals, stating impediments, if any, in the facility in receiving a full complement of drugs from KEMSA. 3, provide the status of the Managed Medical Equipment Scheme following the conclusion of the project, specifically detailing the condition and the operational status of key medical equipment, such as dialysis machines, MRI, and CT scan units, and shed light on claims that these critical machines are currently not being serviced, stating plans to service these machines to prevent further malfunctions or a complete shutdown. Detail how the County Health Department is utilizing its revenue generated from the hospital. 5, state reasons for the reported high cases of maternal mortality in medical facilities in the county. 6, elucidate the reasons for significant delays in blood screening, including necessity of transporting blood to Nairobi for screening, and outline plans, if any, by the Ministry of Health to establish a regional blood screening center in Garissa County. And 7, state measures taken by the Ministry of Health and National Cancer Institute of Kenya to support the Garissa Regional Cancer Center, especially noting the lack of drug supplies from the ministry over the past 6 months. Mr. Speaker, I have a second statement. Can I proceed?
Yes, proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations regarding the state of operations in the Office of the County Chief Officers in Garissa County. In the statement, the committee should elucidate on the reason why Garissa County has not appointed any county chief officer since August 2022, giving reasons for the delay in the appointment of these officers. 2, state how funds disbursed from the National Treasury are being accounted for in the absence of county chief officers. 3, disclose individuals liaising with the County Executive Committee members in the administration of county departments, undertaking the duties and responsibilities of the chief officers in Garissa County from August 2022 to date. And 4, appraise the Senate on how the county government of Garissa is functioning without an appointed accounting officer. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I want to stand and support your statement on an appointment of chief officers in Garissa County since 2022 August. Mr. Speaker, it is very tragic because under the Constitution, a formation of a county government will only be complete with the appointment of a CEC and CEO in office, Mr. Speaker. It is very unfortunate because under the Public Finance and Management Act, Mr. Speaker, sir, Section 148, thereabout of Public Finance Management Act designates a chief officer as accounting officer, Mr. Speaker. What is happening in Garissa County, Mr. Speaker, is sad, is tragic. They are in office illegally and unconstitutionally, Mr. Speaker. Because a county executive will only be complete with CEC, CEOs, and directors in place, Mr. Speaker. So the violation, the consequence of violation of Section 148 of Public Finance Management Act, Mr. Speaker, is very unfortunate. I want to request, Mr. Speaker, this is a very serious statement. It's not just an ordinary statement. I would have expected the Committee of JLAC, Mr. Speaker, the Committee of Devolution to immediately invite or summon the governor of Garissa to explain to this country or to this House, Mr. Speaker, why chief officers have not been vetted and appointed, Mr. Speaker. The second point, Mr. Speaker, is that under county assemblies, public appointments on county assemblies, Mr. Speaker, is very clear that when you appoint, it must be vetted by the county assembly, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, finally, in fact, as a house, we have so much power, Mr. Speaker, that when you look under Article 225 of the Constitution, this House, Mr. Speaker, has power even to stop, Mr. Speaker, the disbursement of funds to Garissa County government. Mr. Speaker, when you look under Article 228, and this is what I want to challenge, Mr. Speaker, the controller of budget.
Senators will listen to Cherargei in silence.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, I want every senator to listen to this with a lot of respect. Under Article 225, I'm speaking as the Vice Chairperson of County Public Accounts, with a lot of authority. Mr. Speaker, under Article 2255, this House has power to stop even funds. Because, Mr. Speaker, who is accounting officer of Garissa County government as at now? There is no chief officer as per Section 148 of Public Finance Management Act. So, Mr. Speaker, what county executive in Garissa is doing is illegal, is unconstitutional, it violates the law, Mr. Speaker. And that is why I come to the third limb, Mr. Speaker. When you look under Article 2285, Mr. Speaker, the controller shall not approve any withdrawal from public fund unless satisfied that the withdrawal is authorized by law. So who is withdrawing the money of Garissa County government if they don't have an accounting officer since August 2022, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, the county government must be called to order. It must be held accountable, Mr. Speaker, and I want to support you as the Senator of Garissa for bringing to the attention to this House, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, it looks like what is happening in Garissa, Mr. Speaker, is a crime scene. You know why? The hospitals are not functional. There is no water, Mr. Speaker. Can you believe in your county, and you know very well, 1 kilometer to the town, there is no water, and there is Tana River water, Mr. Speaker. Number two, you have a dysfunctional county government, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, we want to say Garissa County government must be held accountable and must appear before this House, Mr. Speaker. Unless the governor is presiding over a criminal enterprise in Garissa County government, Mr. Speaker, which we shall not allow, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I thank you and support your statement.
The County Assembly of Garissa should be called out, Honorable Speaker, for allowing for such blatant defiance of the law by the governor, by approving the budget consistently for all those number of years, knowing very well that there are no substantive chief officers who have been appointed to those positions. I'm even wondering, Honorable Speaker, how are the county development plans being approved? How are the annual development programs being approved if the officers are not substantive in office? Honorable Speaker, this is a matter that this House and the committee must take seriously. And Honorable Speaker, we request the committee for devolution to actually write to the controller of budget immediately to hold releases to the county government of Garissa, pending the visit and investigation on how these funds have been utilized, that have been sent without proper officers in office. Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make some comment and support the statement that you made in your capacity as a senator for Garissa County. Mr. Speaker, the issue of accountability is something which is very, very important. If you look at Article 179 of the Constitution, it defines what is called the executive authority of a county, which is vested on the governor, the deputy governor. In fact, if you go to 179.4, it says the governor is a CEO, and the deputy governor is the deputy CEO. Then you've got the 10 CCs, who also have the accounting officers, who are the chief officers. The chief officers are the ones who have got the authority to incur expenditure. So if you come up with a statement and says that Garissa County does not have CEOs, it really begs the question as whether that county exists or not. You know, we sit here in this House and we devolve funds to go to our counties. These chief officers are the ones. In fact, if you read the two articles that my brother Cherelgei has read, if you read Article 225, which defines the process of which funds can be stopped from being sent to counties, the Constitution states clearly that Parliament shall enact legislation to ensure a fiduciary responsibility. So, Mr. Speaker, one of my biggest pet peeves is when we have counties and we come here, we sit here. You know, some of us, by the time we leave this Parliament, our backs are either broken because we sit here to be able to defend these counties.
I have known the Senator of Garissa to be a very patient leader. I didn't know that the patience would be as much as has been demonstrated today. That Senator of Garissa has persevered with the shame and the rot in the administration of the executive offices of the county government of Garissa. Mr. Speaker, there is very little that anyone can say about the situation obtaining in the county executive of Garissa. Only two things. One, and I always fall back on the Committee on Devolution. Senator Abbas and your team, if I were you, I would be making arrangements on how we are leaving for Garissa maybe this evening. Speaker, I would suggest that two things happen. One, that committee first orders and directs the control of budget to forthwith stop disbursements to the county government of Garissa. Because what is happening is that money, public money, is being released to strangers in office. Those people who are now exercising the authority to incur expenditure in the county government of Garissa have no local standi. They are not recognized by law. And so whatever expenditure is taking place in the county government of Garissa, it's an illegal expenditure. Mr. Speaker, without spending too much time, I would suggest that after the visit by the Committee on Devolution, and I hope they will take up this challenge, the Speaker, we also need to call the controller of budget to explain to this House how money has been released to the county government of Garissa since 2022 August to date, when there are no chief officers in that county government. Speaker, lastly, it is a big shame that a governor who had initially been rejected by people in between 2017 and 2022, and that the people of Garissa now have returned him to office, is behaving as though Garissa County is a personal kiosk. So, Speaker, to that governor, I say a big shame, and let us see action.
It's a very sad situation and a serious embarrassment for even our region of northern Kenya to be told that the governor has not appointed chief officers and has acted in complete disregard of Section 45 of the County Government Act that says the governor shall nominate qualified and experienced county chief officers from amongst persons competitively sourced and recommended by the County Public Service Board, and with the approval of the County Assembly, appoint county chief officers. The office of the county chief officer shall be an office in the County Public Service Board. Now, what this section clearly means, these are accounting officers of departments. An accounting officer of department that has not been vetted and found qualified and fit to hold the office cannot purport to be holding an office in the name of acting, because what I'm told are chief officers who are not appointed by the County Public Service Board, vetted by the County Assembly, are becoming accounting officers of department in Garissa County, which is grave violation of the law that governs what is required. How do you justify as a governor of the county? And it's very embarrassing as I stand here, because Governor Nadif Jama is a very close friend of mine. Now, to be able to be told, since August 2022, and now the month of April 2024, the governor has not been able to put in place chief officers and has illegally assigned directors to act in the position of chief officers as accounting officers illegally. And I do not understand whether, honestly speaking, the controller of budget is going to approve release of funds to persons that are not properly authorized to be accounting officers, because the law is very clear. Section 45 of the County Government Act stipulates how county chief officers are appointed to be office holders. And you cannot delegate or appoint in acting capacity anybody who is not vetted.